Today, I'm flying on the world's most exclusive first class for 12 hours from Paris all the way to Brazil. I'll show you exactly what it's like from my private suite to the fine dining and even being chauffeur driven to my plane. All this doesn't come cheap though, with an eye-watering ticket price of over $10,000. So with that, let's pick up our story in Paris at 7 AM. Well, good morning from Charles de Gaulle Airport. I've been dropped at Terminal 2E, unfortunately not by one of the usually inclusive first class transfers. Apparently my airport hotel isn't eligible because it was too close. Let's head inside and check in for our flight. Ordinarily, check-in looks like this. It's what we all use 99% of the time. However, Air France does things differently for Le Premier guests. Further into the terminal concourse, there's a subtle red boutique, which unless you know it's there, seems irrelevant to the check-in procedure. I'm warmly greeted and shown through into this private lounge. Almost instantly you're transported away from the chaos of the terminal and into what feels more like a hotel lounge, filled with aviation memorabilia. I'm offered a cappuccino and mineral water whilst my check-in formalities are completed. Of course, now the real Le Premier service springs into action. The lady that welcomed me into the lounge will escort me through the entire process until I board my flight. I'm led through a special channel away from other passengers and then through a separate security lane. This is quite unlike any first class ground service I've experienced before. And just like that, some 60 seconds from receiving my boarding pass, I'm in the lift going to the airside lounge. This is regarded by many as the world's most exclusive first class lounge, so let's take a proper look around and find out if it actually is. It's a classy, intimate space, different to the likes of the Emirates first class lounge, which takes up an entire terminal. Firstly, let's check out the dining room as I make it time for breakfast. You can eat any time, choosing from either the light snack buffet, complete with the largest selection of mineral water outside of Walmart, or instead dine from the extensive a la carte menu. Well, of course I'm going for the latter. Let's start off with another caffeine hit, this time an almond milk cappuccino as my order is placed. Within moments I'm presented with some fresh pastries, and after another 10 or so minutes, the main event materialises. Of course you know me by now, I've gone for the Eggs Benedict. With brekkie out of the way, it's time to explore the rest of the lounge. First up is the whiskey bar, and whilst it's perhaps a little early for whiskey o'clock, the selection is phenomenal. Next up, the relaxation area, and whilst it's not the bedrooms you get in Swiss or indeed Qatar's first class lounges, it's fine for a quick nap. Lastly, there's a spa area where you can redeem your complimentary 30-minute facial or pay, well frankly, a lot of money for an anti-jet lag treatment. Given we have a little more time before boarding, I think a drop of champagne is a must considering we're in France. This lounge used to serve up my favourite Krug, but this unfortunately appears to be a victim of cost cutting, which is certainly a shame. I'm met once again by the same Air France employee and led towards the elevator. I'm given back my passport, which has gone through immigration as I've been sipping champagne. Now that's a cool touch. Down on the ground floor, it's time to take a private transfer to our aircraft. Yeah, there's no bus to gate situation like British Airways here. I've been fortunate to have a few private transfers across the airport apron to various aircraft over the years, and my goodness, it never gets old. Well, here she is then, our 14-year-old Boeing 777-300ER. It's only from a perspective like this you really get a sense of the scale of these aircraft. A short elevator ride later, and we're back at regular passenger height and ready to get on board. So let's do just that. And just before we get on board the incredible Le Premier, it's time for a quick word from today's video sponsor. I meet lots of people on my travels, some instrumental to the growth of my business today. Most of these meetings are by chance in airport lounges, terminals and coffee shops in the various countries I visit. This means having plenty of business cards to hand, something in the past I've often run out of, or in fact struggled to fit exactly what a YouTuber means into a sentence. This is where today's video sponsor, Ovu, comes in. I now carry this one card with me that's so much more than a business card. With one tap it brings up my contact card, complete with links to my channel and other socials. It's actually become more of a conversational point and certainly something to make you stand out. New contacts are able to save down my details in seconds directly to their phone whilst leaving a lasting impression. If you meet someone who doesn't have an Ovu card, you can use the exchange contact feature, allowing them to share their information directly back with you. To get your own Ovu card today, just hit the link below using code TT10 for a 10% discount at checkout and ensure you stand out when you make your next connection. Well, it's a warm welcome on board La Première. Let's stash my carry-on in the overhead bin before settling into my seat 1 Alpha. I'm promptly served a delicious glass of rare 2006 Piper Heinzig champagne. This is far punchier than what was served in the lounge, retailing at around $200 a bottle. It's not long before boarding is complete and we begin to push back from stand. Let's get my seatbelt on then as the safety video begins to screen.
L'emplacement de votre gilet de sauvetage est indiqué sur une étiquette devant vous.
The location of your life jacket is clearly marked by a sign in front of you.
We wish you a very pleasant flight.
After a short taxi, we're at the runway, ready for takeoff. And just like that, we take off into the rainy Parisian skies, bound for sunnier weather the other side of the world, which begs the question, where are we going? Well, it consists of a 6,000-mile journey over the Atlantic Ocean for the next 12 hours, landing in Sao Paulo, Brazil later this evening. Within 10 minutes or so, we reach our cruising altitude of 35,000 feet, so let's get that seatbelt off as service springs into action. I'm handed an extensive scarlet and blazoned menu for lunch service. Let me know as usual what you'd choose down in the comments below. With my order placed, let's take a proper look around our Boeing 777, today playing host to almost 300 passengers across 4 classes of service, consisting of 206 in economy class, 28 in premium economy, 58 in business class, and of course where we are today, the one row up front of just 4 La Première class seats. You get a large, comfy, leather and tweed adorned armchair, which folds into a fully flat, 6'6" bed. There's also the added privacy of a floor-to-ceiling curtain, essentially transforming the space into your own bedroom in the sky. More on this in a minute. Of course, there's a huge fold-out dining table, which we'll utilise right away. As my table is set, I'm offered another glass of the fabulous 2006 Piper Heinzig. For my appetiser, I've chosen the trendy first-class staple, French caviar, served with a vodka and lime whipped cream. For those that haven't tasted it before, it's mild and fresh with a rather buttery richness, certainly not what you'd expect from, fish eggs. Now for the soup course of leek and potato, served with perhaps the cutest mini baguette you've ever seen. It's absolutely divine, though very nearly ended up on my white NASA hoodie. We'll continue this culinary adventure with the crab cake, equally as delicious as the previous courses, but I'm at quite the risk of being full before my main. Introducing my lamb roulade with pistachio and kumquat, yes, quite the mouthful. It's utterly divine. The lamb is tender, rich and full of flavour. I honestly can't believe this has been whipped up in the galley at 35,000 feet. Really very impressive. Being that we're flying the French flag carrier, it would be a crime not to indulge in the cheese course. I did attempt to pronounce these, but well, I'll save you the hilarity and secondhand embarrassment. Final push now, as I'm offered a palate cleanser. I'm shown some of the desserts available, though of course with mention of a chocolate option, I naturally select this. With that mile-high banquet out of the way, I'm presented with my caffeine hit of choice, a cappuccino, which turned out to be a white coffee. I'm unsure if they have a proper espresso machine on board, as this tasted like instant coffee. Given my jeans are a little bit tighter now, I think it would be wise to change into something a little more comfy. This will also give us a chance to check out the bathroom facilities on board. Now there are 2 restrooms located at the front of the first class cabin. These are in no shape or form comparable to the likes of Emirates or Singapore's A380 facilities, but as this is a 777, we'll let Air France off. Now for the amenity kit. It's an impressive offering, stocked full of Sisley products, a comb and an eye mask, presented in this beautiful leather-bound box. The pyjamas are equally as high quality and are as comfy as they look. And would you look at that, in my absence my suite has been transformed into a cosy bedroom. It's certainly one of the longest beds in the sky and should seat even the tallest of passengers comfortably. I just love the attention to detail here, though yet more chocolate is probably not the best idea. Let's boot the Tims off then, store them under my bed and get some rest. As alluded to already, the curtains really enhance the otherwise rather exposed suite. Whilst this is only a curtain, when tucked up in bed, it truly feels like your own bedroom in the sky. Unsurprisingly, I sleep all the way to the coast of South America and awake feeling fresh and well rested. It's certainly a comfortable bed. My proactive flight attendant offers me a mint green tea to wake up, and it goes down an absolute treat. As I come to, let's check out the in-flight entertainment. Stored in a cubby to your left, you'll find your Denon noise-cancelling headphones, and no, sadly you can't take these home with you despite the price tag of this ticket. The movie selection is half decent, though not as extensive as the Middle East competition. Would you believe it's also time for the second meal service? Nowhere as indulgent as lunch though, which is probably a good thing. Okay, let's adjust my seat somewhat, as whilst food in bed is always nice, try as I might, I can't quite eat laying down. For my starter, I go for the baby spinach and used cheese salad, along with the leek tart. It's tasty, but nothing particularly special. For main, I go a little off-piste, presenting the crispy polenta with pea and cumin sauce. This is delicious, and I'm glad to try something a little different to my usual meat-heavy selection. With that, it's time to get changed out of my pyjamas. Much better. It's also time to get the Tims back on, as we're about to start our final approach into Sao Paulo. I'll explain how I booked this ticket when we land.
We thank you for flying with Air France.
Well, just like that, we're on the ground, some 6,000 miles from home. So how did I book this? Well, La Première isn't something you can easily book on miles, so in this case I booked a cash fare, starting in London and connecting in Paris. One way is a shy over $10,000, but worry not, I got this cheaper, simply by booking one-way first class and the return in business class. It reduced the price to $5,884, still a crazy amount of cash, but a saving nonetheless. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again next time.